I don't regret who I am. I don't apologize for my flaws, my scars, or my mistakes. Why? Because every part of me, every decision, and every struggle has brought me to this moment. And I'm proud of the person I've become. In a world that constantly tells us to be something we're not, to fit into boxes we don't belong in, how many of us can truly say we are comfortable with who we are? How many of us can stand tall and say, I am enough? Too often, we live in the shadow of others' expectations, allowing their opinions to shape how we see ourselves. We let the world's standards dictate our worth, even though we were never meant to be defined by them. But here's the truth. Who you are is enough. Right now, in this moment, just as you are. For years, I lived in the shadow of self-doubt. I questioned my choices, my personality, my very essence. I listened to the voices around me, the critics, the doubters, the ones who told me what I should be. But in doing so, I lost touch with the one thing that truly mattered, my own sense of self. I tried to be someone I wasn't, to please people who would never be satisfied with anything less than my soul's authenticity. But then something changed. I realized that I don't need to live up to anyone's standards but my own. I don't need validation from the outside world. I don't need approval from others to feel worthy. Because the truth is, I am the only person who gets to decide who I am. And I don't regret any part of that decision. The world may tell you to fit in, to follow the crowd, to suppress your individuality in order to be accepted, but in reality, it's the unique qualities that make you valuable. The things you've been through, the battles you've fought, the scars that mark your journey, they are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you survived, that you stood up for yourself, and that you've become stronger in the process. In a world where perfection is idolized, it's easy to feel like you're not enough. But let me remind you, perfection doesn't exist. It's a fantasy, an illusion. In the moments of vulnerability, and in the authenticity of being unapologetically yourself. So let's talk about regrets. We all have them, don't we? Those moments where we look back and think, I could have done that differently. I wish I had taken another path. But here's the thing. Every choice, every mistake, and every failure is a part of your journey. It shapes you, molds you, and teaches you lessons you wouldn't have learned otherwise. If you've made mistakes, don't hide from them. Don't shame yourself for them. Embrace them. Because you know what? Those mistakes are what make you human. They are what make your story real. You've been knocked down, but you've gotten back up. You've learned. You've grown. And above all, you've become more you. There was a time when I would have apologized for being myself, for not fitting the mold, for not following the path others had set for me. But today, I stand tall and say, this is who I am, and I'm proud of it. When I made mistakes, I didn't hide from them. I learned from them. I grew stronger. I am who I am because of every challenge I've faced. And the person I've become, I wouldn't change for anything. You see, the moment you stop apologizing for who you are, the moment you stop trying to be someone else, that's when you start to truly live. You begin to see the beauty in your own flaws, the strength in your vulnerability, and the power in your authenticity. You stop running from yourself and start embracing every part of you, and everything in between. The road to self-acceptance isn't always easy. It's not always a smooth journey. There will be people who criticize, people who try to tear you down. There will be moments of self-doubt. But remember, the opinions of others don't define you. You define you. And no matter what anyone says, you are worthy of love, respect, and kindness, especially from yourself. When you learn to accept and love yourself, flaws and all, you'll find peace in who you are. You'll realize that the only opinion that matters is your own. We are taught to hide our imperfections, to mask our true selves. Truth is that those imperfections are what make us uniquely. Your quirks, your sense of humor, your way of looking at the world, gifts that only you possess. And those who love you, truly love you, will appreciate you for exactly who you are. So, let me ask you, what would happen if you stopped apologizing for being yourself? What if you embraced your flaws, your quirks, your story? What if you let go of the fear of judgment and stepped fully into the power of you? I'll tell you what will happen. You'll finally be free. You'll finally be at peace with who you are. You'll find strength in your vulnerability and courage in your imperfections. And you'll realize that you don't have to change for anyone. You are always enough, just as you are. The moment you stop hiding, stop pretending, stop apologizing for who you are, that's when you'll truly start living. Every little thing that makes you unique, every struggle you faced, every mistake you've made. And that story is worth telling, worth living. You may feel the pressure to fit in, to be like everyone else, but don't. Don't let anyone steal your individuality. The world needs you, exactly as you are. It needs your authenticity, your voice, your unique perspective. When you look at yourself in the mirror, don't see someone who needs to change. See someone who is learning, growing, and evolving into their most authentic self. It's not about being perfect. It's about being true to yourself and owning your journey. So here's to the imperfect, the misunderstood. Here's to the people who are unapologetic, refuse to be molded into someone they're not. Here's to you for embracing your unique journey and standing tall, unafraid of what anyone thinks. I don't regret who I am. I never will.